Hello, 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 and welcome to the ENG Youth Netball Premiership League, or really should say conference update review show. Well, we're going to be talking about Turnford and Sutton Town, and can they take down Starz in the under-13s? We've also got AP Saints and Eagles, and are they contenders for the under 15s? Richard? Yep, under 15s. We're also going to be talking about our teams being loud. I think that's going to be a great one. We've also got guests on. Who we got on? Rich?
We have Evie from Eagles.
Sure,
Lily,
it's Evie now.
if Lily, if her sound's working, and Alettie from AP Saints.
Yeah, so there we go. Been a great weekend. Got to admit, we had some great stuff we were putting out on our Instagram channel, and I know you were putting stuff out on yours. And I suppose you want to start off with an update of what happened on the weekend.
Yeah, well, let's pull up the under-13s Southern Conference.
I'll quickly add as well. While I'm quickly bringing it up, mate. Don't forget, you can also add comments. Put some comments. We can bring them on. Maybe you got some questions you want to ask yourselves. Don't forget that. That's also a great thing. Let's just share this screen. I love this because they've changed things around a bit. So I've got to make sure I choose the right one, mate. There we go. Under 13s first.
Yeah, let's hit the under 13s. So the under 13s. It's quite cool when you had a season before because you still have that history. You're quite aware of where the teams are at, and it's good to see if they've progressed or what. Well, just seeing what they've done to improve for the season ahead. So, scores on the doors for the first round. So, Southend Sapphires, they played Sutton Town. Southend Sapphires, they're a good team. They're going to come good this season. I think this league is exactly what they need. To give them the match play they desire to go to that next level. They did play against Sutton Town, who came 8th overall in the country last season, so a tough start. You saw the experience and how much that counts, and Sutton Town won 38-11 in that one. Then we had another CD Phoenix have been a part of our league, but at a different age group. So this particular team came into it for the first time. They just scraped a 2017 win against Poole. Towards the end, Poole were mounting a fight back, but they just couldn't get the consistency in their play to kind of force a draw or force a win. So CD Phoenix got their season off to a good start, 2017 against Poole. Then Eagles, who kind of had an up and down season last season, they played Southend Sapphires. They won the game 24-15. Good performance from Eagles. Probably wouldn't have done that last season, but they have improved massively. They've got some new players. So we'll be looking to kind of push, not only to push like into the top 4. They did that last season, but just about. But they'd be looking to try and challenge the top teams in the league as well. CD Phoenix then played Sutton Town. Again, you saw the difference from a team that have never done the league to a team that has done the league. Especially a team that's been to a national tournament. And 35-9, Sutton Town got 2 very, very good wins. And a big well done to the girl, to Lily, who I sponsor. She played up a year and was absolutely incredible. So, Lily, if you're watching, well done. Then the final game of the first set of fixtures, Eagles against Poole. Poole just got off to the worst start possible. I think it was like 8-9-0. I don't think they scored in the first quarter. Just wasn't ready for that game. Eagles were they were just dominating from start to finish, and they got their first 2 wins of the season, 33-8. Then we went into the second set of games. Charnwood Rutland against Starz. A very tough start for Charnwood, new to the league. They played against last season's champions from the south, and 4th overall in the whole country, which was Starz, 41-7 to Starz. And Starz were missing 4 or 5 players, which is very, very concerning for the other teams in the league. They were absolutely on fire. Like, part of me being me, and kind of wanting an unpredictable result or something to kind of show people, look,
you can win.
The upsets are here. Like, they performed absolutely brilliant. And considering they had 4 or 5 of their starters, well, I don't know if they're starters, but 4 or 5 of their main squad missing, is very worrying for the other teams in the league. Then
I gotta admit, when I popped outside, was coming back. What's the coach's name?
Luke.
Luke, yeah. I walked past him. He said something. I went, "What did you want? 100 goals? Was was that not enough, mate?"
Well, you find that about the teams that are high performance. It's not enough just winning it. It literally they want to bury you in the dirt, like type of attitude, and that's the attitude you need. It's a bit like business, really. I wish I could be a bit more ruthless in business, but I can't. I'm just
really ruthless in business.
I'm not.
I'm not going to
say too nice, way too nice. Then Turnford against Magic. We've got Lily from Magic coming in, and they did that. That wouldn't have been the score last season, especially against this Turnford team, because this Turnford team have improved massively over the summer anyway. So they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they won 39-11. AP Saints then played Charnwood Rutland, probably the most scrappiest opening quarter to a netball game I've seen in a very long time. But once both teams started to kind of get into it, it did improve, and AP Saints got some consistency going. But Charnwood Rutland did really well as well. They kept working hard all the way to the end, but the final score was 27-11. Then Magic, who does these fixtures? They had Starz, so they had 1 and 2 from last season in the South in their first round of fixtures. They played Starz. Well, the only way he's down now, isn't it? They played Starz 46. Well, on paper, every game gets easier now for him. Starz 46-16. Magic did start well, but again, that quality of Starz and that just ruthlessness.
They did improve, actually, didn't they, Magic? Yeah, just looking back to it, because I'm, so many games go over the weekend. I don't know how you remember them more personally, but then again, live streaming, so it's different. But I remember saying to their coach, that was better. So they were playing better. So,
we'll talk about Magic, because we've got Lily. I know they're a very interesting club. We will talk about that with Lily. But the last game of the day, Turnford versus AP Saints. AP Saints, if you're going to play the best, you've got to start well. And to be fair to AP Saints, they did start well. They did do their best to disrupt Turnford, but unfortunately, Turnford were in no mood to mess around, because they are super determined to get to not only do well, but win this league this season. So, and you can see that in how they've approached those opening 2 games. So 33-14 to Turnford, and that wrapped up the under-13s Southern Conference. And we've now moved. Let's look at the table. Let's look at the table very briefly.
Look at the table, man. Come on.
So the top 4 from last season are already the top 4 this season. So it'd be interesting to see if AP Saints downwards will be able to kind of pull off a shock result against any of those teams in the top 4, to see if they can, just create some entertainment for us. But don't forget, everyone, 5th to 8th place will go to our championship finals. Most teams this season will have the opportunity to showcase themselves on a national level, and that is what this is all about, giving them the experience. So if we now go to the under-15s.
There we go.
I said this, but the under-15s league is going to be my favourite, because it's just so intense. Like, the match play is incredible.
I gotta admit,
get worn out watching it.
I said to my son's helping me now, obviously, do the live streaming. Why not bring family on to give them work? Hey, Richard.
Yeah,
we're really good at that. So
slave labour never hurt anyone.
It's not slave labour. Come on. But what was interesting was we dealt with a few issues on the day, but we started the speed, for one thing, because I said to him, like, under 15s, it's like that, obviously if we went from under 13s to under 14s, it's fast. Under 15s, they're even faster, mate.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff we saw, honestly, I was sat there. Actually, I'll bring it up. Going through, actually, from my live stream, I was actually streaming it to my phone, and I was actually taking snippets from it.
Yeah.
And and I was updating Instagram, because some of the stuff was just wow. I mean, me and someone shouting to each other like, get that. Go on. If one of us was obviously sorting out some other stuff, it's like, get that if you can. And then we was like, right, okay. And then we were recording things. It was like, oh, there goes my cat out.
Do you know what's surprising? Like, you got some really good content the other day, and I was glad you did that because it pinpointed exactly where.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Just gonna let my cat out.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Yeah, it pinpointed the best moments, and I threw a video online of a Western Park Blades player.
Yeah,
she receives the ball and she does like a spin. So I know you put a Michael Jackson element to it.
Yeah, I thought you might like that.
I did as well. Yeah, I did as well because it was actually it was iconic of the way he used to spin. But she spun on 1 foot, then she shot, and I put that on Twitter, and I don't know, and I don't know how the algorithms work now on social media. I know they've changed, so I don't know how many people are seeing things. But I put that online, and I put share because it's just a celebration of a netballer producing a moment of magic.
Definitely.
Nobody shared it apart from the club themselves. And I just think, come on, people. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're connected to, or you're not in the ENG League, or you are in the ENG League, or you're not connected to Western Park Blades. It doesn't matter. Let's celebrate netball. Let's celebrate the skill set. And we've just captured a moment, which is a fantastic skill. And I just don't understand why no one thinks, yeah, do you know what? I'll share that and celebrate because.
Well, did they not think it was good enough? To me, I think it was.
I thought it was brilliant.
I mean, for me to take a snapshot, do that. I mean, obviously we had available time to do so, but that to me, I remember that straight away. Now that you said it, if you'd have asked me 5 minutes ago, I mean, name the best shot, I'd have to look at my Instagram because obviously so much was going on. But that was definitely one. That was just like, wow, that was cool.
I just think netball. If people want netball to be more respected, they want the sport to grow more. They want people to take them more seriously. Just celebrates the skill of the sport, and it just seems like sometimes everyone's very hesitant to celebrate each other. It's a very strange way to be. If people didn't see it, they didn't see it. But if they didn't think it was any good, then they didn't think it was any good. But I thought it was great anyway.
I thought it was brilliant. But
let's move on to the results. So we started off with a team, and we've got one of their players waiting to come in to speak to us. AP Saints for me I'm tipping them to cause a few little upsets this season, and the initial round of games probably will. I thought to myself will set the tone on kind of how good they are going to be this season, and they did very well. So AP Saints versus Sutton Town, 36-17 was the initial score. Sutton Town luckily got all their team there within a minute of the game starting. They had a bit of traffic, so it didn't affect the score too much.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh god.
Well, to be honest, they had 5 players, and the girl who was in the midcourt.
Oh, can I bring that up? Can I bring this up?
Yeah, she was taking on the whole team, wasn't she?
Yeah. It was brilliant. Her face was brilliant. It was like, okay, what was first game, obviously, wasn't it? So here we go. Yeah, I'll mute that. It was just amazing. We captured a little bit at the start. It was a bit late, wasn't it, starting? So
yeah,
I did say it was delayed. Do you know, I actually forgot about it. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
She was just running around the court, wasn't she? And it was just
I think this is the bit. Oh no, they've already started.
It's just starting now.
Just get it back. There we go.
Here we go. She's on her own.
Look. I should have caught. Again, we started doing it later on with the Instagram sort of stuff. But look, it's just like, I'm going. Do you know what? Do not beat me to this, Richard. I'm going to actually put that out. Like when you're unmanned, but still give it a go.
I forgot about this. She does brilliant. People marking her. 3 people.
Yeah. But there you go. Fine, let me just quickly go back at look. She's there going like, really? What am I supposed to do about this? But it's like, just get on with it. It's like, and that's what you do, isn't it? In sport and anything in life, just get on with it.
Yeah, precisely.
It's just I thought it was just amazing.
Here we go.
So I put a bit of sound in there, shall we? And I thought they did good.
There you go. I think it's the next couple of plays now. They're keeping the ball very well, and you're thinking when they're going to lose it because they thought if they score with 5, that'd be incredible.
Yeah,
but
that's what
if
Jack
they
was
just
saying.
lose it here, then it goes.
Yeah.
But if we go back to the scores,
me and Jack were saying about that. You know, if they can get the lead, even you can imagine the rest of their team walking in and they're like 2-0 up or something. Like, okay, we're going to stay out for a little bit longer. We'll come in if they score a goal, you know. But anyway, sorry, Richard, carry on.
That's all right. So yeah, AP Saints, great performance, very dominant performance, and they won 36-17. Charnwood Rutland, new to the league, they played Turnford. Turnford blitzed them in the first quarter, which they do to many teams. But to be fair to Charnwood, as we got into the third quarter and fourth quarter, they did some really good stuff. They played really well. They caused Turnford some problems. But against the top teams, you must start well. If you don't, then it's curtains, unfortunately. But Charnwood Rutland, great performance at the back end of that game. Then Teambridge played AP Saints. Teambridge, again, they're a team. If they play well, they look like a good solid team. But it's the consistency. AP Saints though were just too good, too fast, too competitive. 36-16. Then Turnford played Sutton Town. I think the first quarter was relatively close, but then Turnford dominated in the second, third, and fourth. But a good performance from Sutton Town. Then the final game in the first section, Charnwood Rutland versus Teambridge. Great game. Teambridge looked like they had won the game all the way up towards 3-4 minutes to go. Then Charnwood Rutland mounted a comeback. And at the very end, I don't know if you want to pull this up, Martin. At the very end, they missed a shot to potentially win the game. So agonizing. Catch it. So how many minutes? If you try a bit long.
4 minutes there. Got 2 minutes here.
If you just
How long?
That's probably ideal. So this was to make it 20. So now they're 1 point behind it at this moment. Yeah. They've got a minute and 20 odd seconds left. But then Teambridge had the centre pass, and I thought to myself, well, if Teambridge score now anyway, they've won this game. And that was a great bit of play there from her.
I done a little shot on that one as well, where they all come together. By the way, I put it on Instagram. I just thought it was cool the way they all just went in. They were definitely after that ball. There was no stopping them.
But that was a great shot of. I think that one on them. What they give the umpires given saying no, because Teambridge now get it back, and I thought to myself, well, what's happened? Yeah, I thought this is over, but then another mistake's made. I think now. Here we go. There we go. Footwork. Look, even I know that now. And there we go. Then driving into the circle. It's great. This is a great shot under pressure. So now, 30 seconds to go. It's now their centre pass.
Yeah.
Can they go and win the game? And I was watching their coaches, and it's hands in heads. It's just I love the emotion sport brings.
Oh.
So they get a foul there, and 15 seconds to go. Look, and agonizingly, it hits the back end of the rim, and that
was it.
That's it. Done. Over. But great game. Really good game.
Yeah, that was, especially at the end, obviously. So
Teambridge, they love a draw. I think they drawed a couple of times last season as well.
Yeah.
So into the afternoon, the number one team in the country, Poole Netball Club, they played Team Beds 61-15. It didn't look like a 61-15 game. Team Beds just played hard, but Poole have acquired some really good new players, which we'll talk about later. Western Park Blades versus Eagles. I thought this may be a bit more competitive, but Eagles, like Poole, have acquired a lot of new players and look really strong this season. So 42-13. Magic then played Poole. Magic, like every Magic team, came to play. They came to win. Great atmosphere. Great. The parents were driving them forward. And again, it didn't look like a 13-44 win for Poole. But again, good effort from Magic. Just
the score doesn't show what the game was like, does it?
Well, that's just consistency. It's just when you turn the ball over, making sure you score the goals, and against it, just it's just the most frustrating thing ever when you see teams that are up against it and they're not maximising the opportunities, because that's what will make the difference. Then Western Park Blades got their first win of the season against Team Beds, 38-26. And in the final game of the day, a very good game, very hotly contested game, very physical game, 26-20 to Eagles. And they got their first 2 wins of the season. But Martin, I think it's time to bring in our VIPs.
Oh, I'll bring them in. There we go. There we go. Now, Lily, we work. This is going to be fun.
Can we hear you, Lily? Can we hear you?
Yes.
Cool.
Finally.
Sounds good. Excellent. Well done, Lily, on fixing that.
Cool. So let's introduce our VIP guest for tonight. We've got Alettie from AP Saints. So you are the centre for AP Saints, aren't you, Alettie?
Yeah.
So very skillful centre, gets up and down the court. She doesn't look like someone who likes a challenge or likes being physical, but don't let it fool you. She loves a physical game of netball. So that's Alettie from AP Saints. Then we have Lily from Magic. If I get any of these wrong, don't take offence to it. Am I right in saying you're wing attack, Lily?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, this is good. I'm doing well tonight. So Lily's the wing attack from Magic. Again, just very skillful player. Very what's the word? Fast. There you go. She's very fast. Loves feeding the shooters. Intelligent player as well. You're a very intelligent player, Lily. So that's Lily from Magic. And now we have Evie from Eagles. She's a sharp shooter. You love scoring, don't you, Evie? Evie, say it again.
I'm not a shooter anymore.
You're joking. Well, where did you play on Saturday then?
Played a quarter at wing defence, 3 quarters at centre, and I played like 1 quarter at goal attack, but only like 3.
Last season you shot all the time, didn't you, Evie?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That's. I did get half right then.
Somebody got a game going on in the background, like a laser game.
Has anyone got a game in the background or playing computers or anything?
Can you hear it? Can you all hear it?
But let's start with then you, Lily. So Lily, this season you've come into the league. You played really well this weekend, but you didn't get the wins. Were you still kind of happy with the performance though?
I was very happy with the team's performance and everyone else's performance individually, because I feel like we've grown as a team and individually.
Yeah, you've had 2 tough games. You had the top 2 teams from last season. Ideally, you don't want in a perfect world. Would you rather play teams you kind of know you can beat to get a good kind of run going, or would you just rather get those top teams out of the way so you can focus on the teams you can kind of more realistically win against? Not saying that you can't beat them, Lily.
I would rather get the hardest teams out the way, so then we can have an easier run when we get to the end of the ENG season.
And out of those,
we can make our way up the ranks. So
yeah. Well, out of the teams you got left to play, how many of those games are winnable for you?
All of them.
So Sutton Town, Eagles, Poole, Southend, you reckon all those teams are winnable?
Yes, definitely.
Well, we will find out as the season gets going. But Evie, your Eagles team, they 2 games, 2 wins, good start. Were you happy with the team?
Yeah, I think we worked well as a unit, bringing the ball up and down the court.
And how many new players are in your team?
Right, I need maybe 5 or 6, maybe something like that.
Yeah, because I did notice you had a few new players, but again, do you feel they've made a difference to your performance?
Yeah.
And this season, we talked in the interview after the game about what it is you want to achieve. Last season, it was kind of an up and down season. Probably the performances weren't great sometimes, but you had some good moments. You kind of just got to the top. You probably weren't ready to play a team like Kingsley Power, were you, at Nationals?
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was good in the fact it shows us the standard that we need to work towards, and it's a good learning point, really.
Yeah, that was a kind of a tough game to start off your national finals. But this season, do you believe you can potentially win this league, or is it just about getting into the top 4?
Well, I mean, it's the aim. If we don't back ourselves, no one else will. So I think we've got to take each game as it comes and not be cocky.
Well, out of the teams above you, so you've got Turnford, Sutton Town, and you've got Starz. What team realistically do you feel you can potentially beat out of those 3?
I don't know. We'll give it a good whack in each game. We'll just take it as it comes.
Oh, that very, very good answer. She's PR trained. You are, Evie. Like it. But what do you think of this new kind of system we have? So, Lily, if teams come from 5th to 8th, they go into a champ. It's called. So you've got the top 4 teams go into the grand finals. So that's the national finals with the top 4 teams. But now we have one where it's the 5th to 8th teams go to the championship finals. Lily, do you welcome that type of scenario where you can play against 5th to 8th teams from the north and kind of prove yourself in a national level? Is that something that will help your team, or do you think it's the value in the main event?
I think it's a great opportunity for everyone. If you don't make the top 4 teams, if you don't make the top 3, you can still have a chance in the national final thing in the 5th to 8th.
And obviously playing against teams from the north, if they're 5th to 8th, it's still a great opportunity and still a great experience, I can imagine.
Yeah, and then we'll be able to develop more.
No, it'd be good. I'm glad I brought that in this season. But let's speak to Alettie. Are you with us, Alettie? Are you here?
I am.
Cool. So I'm tipping you. I'm a betting man, and if I could put a bet on, I'm tipping you as the underdogs who potentially might ruffle a few feathers this season. Your team looks strong. You look confident. Were you happy with your start to your season?
Yeah, I mean, we've been working really hard for summer, pre-season, also all of last year, to really just step our game up to the next level, to be able to compete with the top teams like Poole and Turnford and all the teams from the north. And we've had multiple run-ins with those teams so far, and we've been doing really, really well. I was really happy with our team's performance on Sunday. I think we put out 2 strong wins, which was a good start to the season. We did have a few injuries in the second game.
Yes,
but both players they're on the mend. So I think we're looking really good.
Somebody had the twisted ankle, was that the one?
Yeah, it was 2 people matching.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you believe that's because I kind of thought to myself, is it because you're for me, game management is important. Sometimes you don't need to go hell for leather when the game's practically won. Do you think that was do you reckon it's because they got those injuries because they're just being too intense when they shouldn't have been, or was it just mistakes on landing? Is it just one of those things that happens in netball, or could it have been avoided if you just calmed down a bit and thought your game's won, let's chill out a little bit? Or is the drive to score as many goals as possible, regardless of whether you've won the game or not?
I mean, for us, it's not like the drive to score as many goals as possible. The game is not really won till the end because like anything can happen. Like any team can get back.
Good
And
answer.
to be fair, we always want to like practice playing our best. We never want to like just sit back and like, because those teams like TTNC are really, really good. And so we can't just, play easy if we won't be able to. So, and I think to be fair, I think our shooter, she landed like on the post and that's how she twisted her ankle. And then it was just another funny landing. So yeah, I think to be honest, we always try and play at the same intensity because it's good practice for the harder games.
Yeah, well, let's move on to that. I don't know what opinions Lily and Evie you may have, but Turnford and Paul have kind of dominated this league for the last couple of years, and that's all you hear, isn't it? Turnford, Paul, Turnford, Paul. What do you need to do to what is it you need to do to kind of get to turn around these results and get yourself a win against them? Alettie, that's for you.
Oh,
I
well,
was looking at Lily and
sorry.
Evie as well, to be fair.
Well, I think what we need to do is, first of all, is like have a lot of consistency in our game. We need to really eliminate as many mistakes as possible, keeping the ball safe, short, sharp, just really eliminating mistakes. And also, we are going to need to work really hard in defense as a unit because obviously these teams are really, really good. And in order to get turnovers and to stop them just scoring goals, we need to really work as a unit. So yeah, I think the most important thing is consistency and keeping the ball safe.
What part of Paul's and Turnford's game in particular do you need to nullify to put them under as much pressure as possible?
So
what players do you need to shut down?
Yeah, so I think with Paul, their shooting is quite effective because they have one tall shooter who just does like overheads typically or pops around the post. And then they have like a shorter shooter who goes like towards the edge of the circle and shoots long goals. So I think first of all, we need to stop the ball before it even gets to the circle. Yeah. So we need to turn the ball over early in attack and in defense. In their attack. So in our defense, when we're attacking, we need to we just need to keep the ball safe. And I think because they have really good defenders, and so we can't afford to be putting the ball in the air too often because they're just going to catch on and sort of pick the balls off.
Yeah.
So
because they're tall,
we need to change it up. And
well, do you know what I think from watching from the that I'm here? Okay. I think, do you know what the most important part of Paul and Turnford's game is, which I think if you wanted to be successful against them, is their centre pass.
Yeah.
If you can shut down their centre pass as often as possible, you've got a massive chance. And I know that's probably likely for most games, but that for me is the most important part of playing Paul and Turnford is that centre pass. And if you can stop yourself being intercepted on the centre pass, that is super difficult, unfortunately. But girls, let's go back to you, Lily. So Lily, just give us a quick couple of sentences or whatever. The ENG Youth Netball Premier League, for someone who's 13, playing their netball, what does it do for someone like you?
It makes me feel really happy and really empowered when I play netball because I just feel like I'm being myself and I really enjoy playing the sport.
Do you feel like you are a little professional because you've everything, you're on all the banner stands, like Alette's on it. Well, you're all on the banner stands. Evie's on banner stands, on the posters and stuff. Do you enjoy that part of it? Do you like the marketing side of it? Do you like all the build up to games and the live stream? Does it make you feel more professional as a young?
Yeah, and I like also having the music when we're warming up.
Oh, that's controversy there. I'll tell you. Now you've opened up a can of worms. Because last season there was complaints
There shouldn't be.
Has the music improved this season?
I would say it was just the same as last time. I really enjoyed the music last season as well.
Well,
Okay,
let's
in the
hope.
comments, people, let us know. What do you think if you were there on the day? Which, try and please be there because it's really good for the atmosphere and support the girls.
How about for you, Evie? The league. How good is the league, or how bad is the league? I don't mind honesty. Go on.
The league's good. It's if you get to like national finals, then it's a good chance to be able to play the northern teams before like national thing.
Yeah. It's a good preparation base, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Alettie, what is it about the league you enjoy in particular?
I mean, yeah, I agree with Evie. I think it's like a really good opportunity to play against teams from all around the country and really develop your game. But yeah.
I want to hear more about like what do you think? So when you come to these games and you hear the build up to the games and you does that bit make you more motivated? Does it make you more nervous? Because I do get a few people saying to me, you shouldn't pit these teams together as much as you should do. But I always think to myself, I actually think the players enjoy it. Am I right in saying that, Alettie?
Yeah, I think it does sort of take up to the next level. It makes it feel really professional. And to be honest, I don't know about the people, but I like having like quite like making a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the music and the live streams. So
cool. Well,
here's a question, if I can jump in with. So do you kind of like tell your mates about it? So your mates who don't play netball, do you say, "Oh look, I was playing last week, we did really well," or I've done this great shot. Do you go on about that? Is that something that you maybe bring up the live stream or whatever and show people, look at the shot that I did? Do you do think, or do you say, "Oh, I'm through to the national finals," to your mates, and they go, "You stop going on about the national finals"? Is it like that?
Yeah.
All of it. What is it? They're just like, "God, Martin's talking again." Oh, Smiler, shut up. Oh, they're laughing. That's what they mean. Right. Oh, okay then. No, but is it something that
you're proud to do? That's
yeah,
what you're trying to say.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
Thank you
girls, you've got a chart. The reason you're on here, I think, anyway, is to take part in this national quiz competition we've got. Now, hope you've all got a pen and paper. Get yourselves a pen and paper because this is your opportunity to be the #1 quiz master. Now, I've changed the rules a little bit from last week, so we're going to do the top 5 throughout the season. We'll go to a national quiz competition at the end, but only the winner will be put forward of this particular quiz. So if you lose, you're going to have to come back into the stream at some point. So here we go. Is everyone ready for these questions? They're going to be multiple choice. Well, most of them will be. And if you were watching if you were watching us doing our introduction, you would have got the answers to some of these questions as well.
Ooh.
Okay.
And look, put it on the comments as well if you got the answers.
Are you all ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Here we go. So, how many goals were scored in the ENG Under-13s Youth Netball Premier League Southern Conference on Saturday? Was it 457, 458, or 459?
That's a lot of goals, man.
So how many goals were scored on Saturday in the Under-13 Southern Conference? 457, 58, or 59? Right. First question done. Next one. How many goals were scored in the ENG Under-15 Southern Conference? Was it 564, 565, or 566? Everyone happy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What game was a draw in the ENG Under-15 Southern Conference? Was it Poole versus Team Beds, Was it AP Saints versus Team Bridge? Or was it Team Bridge versus Charnwood Rutland? So what game was a draw in the under-15s? Southern Conference, Poole versus Team Beds, AP Saints versus Team Bridge, or Team Bridge versus Charnwood Rutland? It's like being back at school, isn't it, kids?
Yes.
Alette's naughty at school. You can tell she's got one of those naughty faces. Okay. Next question. This is worth 4 points. Name the top 4 teams currently in the under-13s Southern Conference. Top 4 teams. In no particular order either. Alette's been doing her own work. She looked too sharp there. Too sharp.
Does, yeah.
Too quick. She's got a big smirk across her face as well. That always don't ever play cards, Alette, because you'll give the game away. Oh, I've got a good hand.
No, I've got a bad hand.
Okay, next question. Name the top 4 teams currently in the under-15s Southern Conference. I think we might have a little draw tonight, Martin.
I think it might be, mate. They seem to have been, you know what I mean? They know what they're doing.
Well, the winner last week got 10 points.
Ah.
Yeah, 10 points. Okay, Alette, I think she's done already.
I think Lily's
Lily, you done?
Lily's done.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Paul scored the most goals this weekend. How many? Did they score 103, 104, or 105?
Letty,
how could you get that so quickly?
I'm just guessing.
Oh, right.
There's no way I could know, so just go for the first one that comes to my head.
I just thought you had a good memory. You were like, yeah, what a calculator. Done. Right. A bit like Richard.
It does help the website screens in front of you, though, doesn't it, Alette?
Oh.
You've cracked me.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about AP Saints and how they manipulate the games to win. Joke.
Or not.
Okay, so how we're going to do the results here? We are going to do it by. I'll go through the question. You're going to put your paper up to the screen. So let
me zoom it in for you, Richard, because I know you're getting old and you might need to put your glasses on otherwise.
And my pen decides to run.
Where's
out.
monocle thing? Oh, hello.
Okay, so the first one was how many goals were scored in the under-13 Southern Conference on Saturday. Put your papers up now, girls.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, and that's 1 point to Evie.
Well done, Evie.
Excellent. Maybe it's Evie with the screen in front of her, not Alette.
What'd you say to that, Evie?
Maybe.
I'm just jealous because I've never done a quiz and I've never got the questions right. So I'm just jealous. Okay, Evie. Okay, how many goals were scored in the under-15 Southern Conference? Stick your papers up now.
Oh, I can't see Evie's. Oh, that's interesting.
And again, Evie is
Evie.
That's it.
Well done, Evie.
If you were clever, you'd have gone back to last week's stream and got an idea of what the potential questions might have been.
That's exactly what I did.
Well done. Yes.
Someone is clever. Okay.
Wow. I
What
wonder who was
game-
looking at the last week's stream. Now I just found out.
What game was a draw in the under-15s Southern Conference this week? Throw your papers up. I wonder if... Yeah. No. And Evie and Alettie. Alettie is off. She is off and running, and Evie got that right as well. 3 points to Evie, 1 point to Alettie. And Lily, come on. You can do it. See, Magic never start well in the first quarter, do they?
But I'll get this next one right.
Okay. Well, this is worth 4 points. Name the 4 teams, the top 4 teams in the ENG under 13s Southern Conference currently, and put your sheets up. My eyes. Stars. Turnford Eagles. And okay, so Alettie, you got all 4. Well done. So Starz, Sutton Town, Eagles. Hold on, I'm just trying to Sutton Town, Turnford. Yep. Evie, you got all 4. And Lily, 1, 2. Yes, well done, Lily. You are off and running. 4 points.
I like the way they're ticking and Xing the ones that they're right. Like they're going to go back and study again.
Okay, name the top 4 teams in the ENG under 15 Southern Conference, and they were Eagles, AP Saints. Move it across. Alettie, Paul, and Turnford. Eagles, Turnford, Paul, AP Saints. Paul, Turnford, AP Saints. Eagles, well done. Another 4 points for all of you. Superb. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay. And the last question was, how many goals did Paul score this week, this Sunday? Throw your papers up now. I can't see yours, Alettie. I can't see yours. 105. You all got it right. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Yes, definitely.
9. I'll tell you, we've had a 4, 8 now. Yeah, no.
Let us know at home.
Okay, so the scores are in.
What you got?
So they are a. Okay, I'm just trying to double check. Did you get the second run right? Or did you get the first?
No, I didn't.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. You did 1, 2. Hold on. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, yeah. That's 8, 9. Yeah, cool. Sorry, I'm going a bit silly here. Okay, the final scores on the doors are last place with 9 points. 9 points. Lily, give her a clap, please. Well done, Lily.
Well done, Lily.
In second place with 10 points. Alettie, give her a clap, please. He is never prosper. And Evie, you were not silly. You knew to go back to last week's stream. Not only did you win, you got 12 out of 12
Oh, well done.
points.
Wow.
You go to the top of the leaderboard. How do you feel, Evie?
I feel ready to win.
Is it one of the proudest moments of your life so far?
Probably not.
We don't need to remind Evie
Disneyland.
this is North Korea. Put the North Korean national anthem on, Martin.
Doing it now, mate. Doing it up.
But girls, thank you so much for joining us. Alettie, I'm going to keep you in the room because we want to get a debate going. But Lily and Evie, I look forward to seeing you in the next few rounds in the South. So, girls, enjoy your evening, and we'll see you again very soon. Alettie, we're going to keep you in and discuss this big talking point.
Bye, Evie. Bye, Lily.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
I think Evie's already got no. See you later, Evie. Bye.
Thank you.
There we go.
So I think there's someone waiting to come in, Martin.
Molly is waiting to come in. Should I bring Molly in?
Yeah, bring Molly in.
Hi.
Hello, Molly.
Alison was meant to be here, but she's in the car right now, so last minute addition.
Can't we go to Alison so that oh, you muted yourself, Molly.
Sorry.
I was gonna say we could go to Alison and have it live, traffic updates and stuff. Just on the M25, it's really bad.
Well, Martin, have you got the interview?
Oh, yes, I have.
So what we're going to talk about, people, is something I've never heard before. Now, no one is right and no one is wrong. It's perception is everything, right?
Yeah.
But I interviewed the Team Bridge girls, and they made a claim that you AP Saints, and I don't know specifically whether it's the fans, the coaches, or the players, but you are very loud. Now, I love loud, and I'm a big fan of loud. The louder, the better, because I think it makes for a better atmosphere. But apparently, and I put a poll up online. I don't know if you saw it on Instagram, but apparently this loudness is not authentic.
Oh.
It's actually a tactic to kind of put off the opposition, and a lot of people online actually agreed. They said that this is like 69 or 70% of people said this is a tactic. Like this is used to disrupt teams, and I'm not having it personally. I'm not having it because
I say shout louder. If they shout, you shout louder. What do you reckon?
For me, the louder the better, because I'll be in my element. I would love it. So
I love it.
Put the interview on, Martin, and we'll go and discuss it afterwards.
All right, 3, 2, 1, get ready. It's gonna cause mayhem.
We weren't talking to each other.
What was it AP Saints doing to which you found frustrating as a team?
So loud.
Yeah, loud is good. We like loud.
They just scream. And when what's it called? They don't have people coming. They're just yelling and kind of stuff and stuff like that.
So the noise.
Yeah. But
Do you reckon that's intentional?
Yeah, obviously.
Do you reckon that's a tactic to disrupt people's game, or is it just because that's their personality?
I think it's kind of both, but mainly to distract us.
It's interesting. I've never heard that theory before.
Right, I would just like to add, as their, I only said bailiff, as their, what's the part, Richard? Not bailiff, barrister.
Yeah,
I believe you were leading the witnesses there.
Me?
Yes.
Go on.
Just a little bit. I'll say just a little bit.
I don't even know what I'm doing half the time.
Would you? No, it's great. It's great questioning. But again, obviously, some stuff gets said before you go live anyway, as we know. So, but there was a little bit of a lead in there. I will say that. But again, I thought their answer was great.
Yeah, well, it's a perception of the game I've never heard before. Now, let's start with you, Molly, because you're new into the room.
Good luck,
Clear
Molly.
this up for us. First and foremost, do you make noise to disrupt your opposition?
I mean, we don't really think about when we play. We're just quite a loud team with a lot of egos who like to shout and take control. And it's not a tactic at all. I mean, I think everyone's just so involved and passionate about the game that they just shout as a way to express it, and it's more like cheering each other on rather than disrupting the other team.
Alettie, do you feel that do you need a loud kind of environment to make sure your performance is as on point as possible? Could you operate in the same way if it was quiet? Is loud actually beneficial to AP Saints?
Okay, well, so when we're on the court, if we're talking to each other and communicating, our intention is never to put off the other team. We never try and put off the other team. We want to have a fair game, but we obviously want to communicate because that's really important for a team to play. So we're just trying to communicate. We need to be heard. We can't whisper on the court because no one will hear you. And I think also we try and like elevate each other and encourage each other to do better. So we're sort of cheering each other on as well, and especially like the parents and the coaches. So like we're not trying to put off the other team, we're just trying to elevate our own performance to the next level.
Shall I bring it up? The game? Was it number 3rd game?
No, it's just, yeah, you can do. But I just think girls like Molly, do you feel it's a little bit disrespectful towards you as a team to kind of place kind of half the emphasis on why you won on noise? Is that an unfair thing to do?
Yeah, I think it is, because in training we build on keeping our heads up, and a way to do that is encourage people. And I think like last year as well, Sutton Town said that we were too loud or something like that. So I think everyone's just so enthusiastic about the game, and our parents as well. I mean, they dance during the songs. Like you get a lot of the.
I'm going back through the live stream and watching that, if that's the case.
Yeah, my mum and Lettie's mum are very involved. But I think it's just about keeping each other up, and we wouldn't do it to put another team off, because like Lettie said, we wouldn't want to win by cheating. We just do it in a way to help.
Okay, I've got a good question. This is for you, Alettie. If you generally were putting teams off and they turned around to you and said, listen, you're putting us off, like, can you turn down the noise a little bit? Would you be respectful enough to say, you know what, let's just not shout as much? Or is it something teams just have to put up with? Because for me, again, I'm trying to understand both perceptions. I love it because culturally, when the AP Saints teams comes to town, you know there's going to be noise. So even I expect it. I think teams should expect that as well. It's like when you play sport, when you play all different types of teams, like when I played football, you know who the dirty player was going to be. So you would expect certain players to be dirty. You'd expect the teams to play a certain way. And that's what being an athlete is. It's about adapting to your environment. But back to the original question, if teams were getting upset or they weren't playing their best netball because they were distracted by the noise, would you advocate saying to your parents or your team or your coaches, come on, let's cool this down because we want a fair fight here, and this team don't feel that they're getting a fair fight? What would you say to that?
Yeah, so I think definitely we want to still play our own game. So I think we wouldn't like necessarily turn down like communicating and encouraging each other on court. But if the team is saying like, oh, it's really like distracting us and sort of interfering with our game when we're like, for example, the parents and the coaches are just being really, really loud, I think 100% it's okay to like say, should we just like take it down a notch? Because obviously you don't like, for example, if the other team's taking a shot, you don't want to be like cheering loudly. To,
no,
like,
you don't. No, that's one thing I'm not gonna add. You definitely don't do it when teams are shooting. So if anyone thinks you do, you don't. So that's not done.
When you're in training, you're as loud, aren't you, in training as well?
Yeah. And I think most of the noise is like actually on court, and I think that's what TTNC were talking about. How like we're communicating with each other and encouraging each other on court, especially like communicating and just talking to each other, because I think that's just how we play, how we've been coached, and it's how we play. And if the team is saying like this is affecting our game and sort of is putting us off, maybe we can be like try and like go a little bit quieter. But like, to be fair, that is how we play. We need to communicate on court, and it's not really fair to ask us to change our game.
Because that's the way you play. That's your tactic. That's how you communicate. I totally agree with you there. You know, if another personally, I'm not with Richard here and yourselves. If somebody's got a problem with it, then sort your solution. Whether you shout louder or whatever, it's a way of communication, and also it gives you a bit of adrenaline. Surely, come on, let's get going. You know, and I can also tell they go lower because obviously when they go to their corners, shall we say, they do speak a lot lower now that they know cameras are operating within the area. I have noticed the huddles that they have. I've been moving the cameras, showing certain teams after each quarter, and they get huddled, and they're kind of, it's like the old hiding my results or hiding what I'm putting down on my scorecard, you know, answers. I see it. So they are quiet where they need to be. So yeah,
it's so. But to be fair, even if teams are getting distracted or teams are not enjoying that type of environment, surely that's going to benefit you anyway. So if you're playing someone like Paul or Turnford, or you've got Eagles coming up next, surely, again, I know you don't use it as a tactic, but if you feel that this level of kind of noise is affecting teams, surely when you play the bigger teams, you're going to be thinking, right, notch it up a little bit more because it's going to distract them. Because is that how you look at it, or because I was surprised when you said, oh, we know we could possibly tone it down, but I'm not sure probably you'd want to if you're playing against especially the big teams.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think our intention with like shouting or being loud, it's never, we don't like our game of netball. We're playing netball. We're not trying to like shout at the team to put them off. And so like if they do say, oh, like all the shouting from the parents is just like a bit too much, it's understandable, but at this level, you do have to be able to sort of drown it out and
I agree.
Really focus on the game. And if you can't do that, there's not really much we can do about that.
No, I 100% agree. Molly, is it just a case of teams just, well, again, the girls, Teambridge girls feel the way they feel, you feel the way they feel. No one's right, no one's wrong. You can only feel the way you feel. But is it a case of, unfortunately, if you want to perform at a high level, you have to understand how to compete in many different types of environments? Is it just tough luck, unfortunately?
Yeah, I think the good thing about like ENG is that it's introducing you into the higher level of it being filmed, there being music, it being made a bigger deal rather than you just going and playing netball. So you have the supporters there, you have the kind of live game that you would have in like a stadium or in the copper box when you have at the game. So I think it's something to rise above it, and it's good because it will make people work harder and make you focus more.
Well, I sound like I repeat myself, but I played once upon a time. I played in front of 40,000 people once.
Thanks, girls.
Right, and someone asked me once upon a time. I was only 10 at the time. I was 10 years old playing in front of 40,000 people at Wembley Stadium. Sorry, I did that. Sorry.
Again.
But someone said, "Did you hear the crowd?" And I couldn't hear him. Like it was just a blur. The whole thing's a blur. So for me, if you are zoned into what you're doing, you should be able to kind of zone out. Because it's a bit like someone asked me about the 5-4-3-2-1 at the weekend. They said that's not fair. You're disrupting people when they shoot.
No way.
Yeah, well, it's a fair point, and I'm again, I weren't going to for me, if someone feels that way, they feel that way. But it's similar. It's a similar thing where they're saying, they're saying, can you stop doing that because the girls get too nervous when you do it. But for me, you like being so if you're about to shoot, and I know Molly, you're a shooter, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it's really helpful because if you have a ball and you want to take longer with your shot, but then you've got like 3 seconds, you have to go for it. Or if you think I'm going to pass it out and try and get closer, you're like, I've got these 5 seconds, I've got to use it. Or if like Letty has the ball in the centre third, she throws it straight to Tash rather than trying to do a couple passes to get into it. So I think it's useful.
But at the same time, Molly, how beneficial is it for you to be under that much pressure and score? So for me, that's what the loud argument gets debunked, because if you can handle that pressure, manage that pressure, then you're only going to come out the other side a better player.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on it anyway.
I think it adds another dimension to the game because that countdown is everything is on that last second. I mean, I posted on Instagram, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that's what it's all about. You know, the countdown's there, take the shot. Because people, I mean, last year we saw players not taking a shot with the countdown, and then we were saying, weren't we, Richard? We were talking about things. We were saying, look, again, you miss 100% of the shots if you don't take them. Take the shot. Doesn't matter how far out, just take it. And then we started to see some great shots going in, and
but people just enjoy it. Like I said, Alettie, if she's in the center of the court, she can speed up her play because she knows she's got 5 seconds to go. But girls, so from now on, AP Saints are going to be dead silent when they play.
No way.
it's never going to happen.
Molly, are you going to be dead silent when you play?
Nope. Can't.
So if every team moans about you, you don't care.
Yeah.
Be loud, be proud.
Yeah. We're all original players and we all need to communicate with each other. And that's why we're such a good team, because we all have different talents and we're not all like set plays and we don't all do the exact same thing. We all do our own thing, and that's how we get far as a team.
And that's again, the culture of your club leans towards what you do on the court. It's you're loud, you're aggressive in a good way. You want to win, and all that energy. Because for me, Alison's one of the most energetic coaches on the planet. Now, you're just an example of Alison's energy. She energizes the whole entire room. So even I nearly stand up and start shouting and cheering, and it's so energized. So you're just a product of the person driving you forward, and that person wants the best for you. So you keep doing what you're doing, and it's good to get your thoughts on this as well. So well done, girls.
Before you go, can you remember what team had a foghorn this weekend?
Oh, Southend Sapphires, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Bring your foghorns. Yeah, bring your foghorns from now on.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, yes, that's really cool. What do you think of foghorns?
Would that bother you girls, a horn?
I think that's quite a lot. I mean, to be fair, when we went to nationals, a lot of the teams had like proper drums. Like I think like pool, they had like drums with like they had, and when we were playing them, they had like flags and drums. I think that's quite extravagant.
I would love to. No, I think that's brilliant. That's how it should be. Get involved. Yeah. Be loud. Be proud. Get in there. Drums, foghorns. Yeah. Big cheering. Loads of people. Rich is saying you can't come in. The room's full. Get out. Just loads of. Just loads. I mean, we chat about this loads. Being there, cheering you on, gives you so much power. It's like a boost. It's like, Mario Kart, collect one of those special
tokens. Let's just ask these girls before they go. Eagles in the next round. Big game coming up. Both unbeaten, both pushing to try and knock Paul and Turnford off their perches. Give us a prediction. Molly or Let, give us a prediction.
I mean,
tell us how the game will go.
I reckon if we keep our heads, we keep our composure, and we play the best netball we can, we play how we played on the weekend, and if we just keep our heads and stay calm, I reckon we can beat Eagles.
To win by 5, to win by how much to win by, Molly, do you reckon?
I think just win. I don't think it matters how much by. We've been focusing on possession a lot, so as long as we play possession, we have a chance. I think this year is our year. I mean, hopefully that's how it's going to go.
The next game will show us all we need to know about how good you girls are. So we will look forward to that. I think that's in November. Let me just go. It's November. It's November November the 13th. So on November the 13th, get ready. You've got a massive game against Eagles. But we'll let you go now, girls. Have a great evening, and we'll see you on November the 13th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Cool. Well, hopefully we cleared that up.
Yeah, I think we did.
Get it just
a bit. Let us know in the comments, people, what you think. Do you think, the noise and stuff puts people off or puts teams off, or do you think they should just carry on doing what they're doing? Because comments like that are definitely, I'd like to see the reaction on that from everybody. Definitely.
Well, let's just talk briefly about So one of the points I made online is AP Saints and Eagles. So the under 15s, AP Saints and Eagles, are they genuine title contenders? Now, after this weekend, some AP Saints haven't, but Eagles have got a fair few new players in that team. Some really good players. And
a quick question: why are we getting loads of new players into these teams? Because we're talking about the under 15s here, so they've been running with their team for whatever. Now all of a sudden they've got some new team members. What do you reckon going on there?
I don't know. I just think teams are just, again, when you ask players, they always say we want to prepare for the England under 16s and stuff like that. They will never say it's because we want to win ENG Youth Netball Premier League. But we all know you do.
Exactly.
You can admit it, everyone's God. Just so no, they're just getting prepared. They got. I think when you get to under 15s, you build for probably the next couple of years, and they're just building for the next couple of years and hoping to get as much success as possible. But AP Saints and the Eagles, are they genuine title contenders? I believe so. I think both teams have what it takes. If you look at AP Saints, were probably the more impressive than Eagles this weekend. But Eagles have some new players that are absolutely incredible, and going into that. So the next game in particular will show us all we need to know about where those two teams are at this season. They're going to have they're going to have a good chance at winning against teams like Poole and Turnford, but it's going to be difficult, very difficult. But next game in particular, I don't know. It's a tough one. To try and beat Turnford and Poole is always going to be a massive task. But they do have the ability to do it. They have the players to do it. It's just executing and showing that they can do it, because they have done it in smaller, I think, competitions in the summer. They've beat, I think Eagles beat Turnford in a competition, but 10-minute games are good because it's a different type of competition. But 40-minute game is a different ball game altogether. Staying concentrated for 40 minutes is a tough one.
That's an interesting one as well. You've actually added an extra minute on each quarter as well, haven't you?
For the under 15s, they got 40 minutes. So we do everything we can to give you the best possible game time, best possible environment to play your netball. But AP Saints Eagles, yes, they can challenge, but the next game is huge, and I can imagine there's going to be a lot of people coming to watch that one, because their first game. So we got Eagles will play Teambridge in their opening game. Again, never an easy game against Teambridge, and if they have the players back who are missing this game, this weekend, Eagles will have to be ready for that one. And AP Saints, they have Charnwood Rutland, so a new team in the league, so they'll be confident they can get the win there. And then obviously Eagles they will play AP Saints and Eagles at 4:00.
All right, on the 13th or the 6th?
13th.
All right, you got the 6th as well. Sorry. All right, I was just looking at that.
So the 13th, big games for AP Saints and Eagles. But the next point I wanted to talk about is the under 13s quickly. So Turnford and Sutton Town, have they got what it takes to beat Starz? Now, Starz were rampant last season. They didn't put a foot wrong. They scored a load of goals. They went to the Nationals and got into the top 4 in the Nationals. So did a really good job there. And they've started this season really well, very confident, very dominant. But Turnford and Sutton Town looked really impressive as well. Turnford, their movement has improved dramatically. Feeding the ball into the circle has improved dramatically. The execution in the shots look amazing. So we're going to have and then Sutton Town, they've got a tall shooter who was just, I think it was just starting out last season, but she lacked movement, probably not as good underneath the post. But this season looks like a completely new player. She's moving, she's ruthless under the post, and for me, she's going to be one of the stars of the show this season. So Sutton Town and Turnford, they have and Sutton Town, like Turnford, have a great centre player. They have they have a lot of creativity in their team. Sutton Town have one of the best defences I've seen in the league, a very good defence. So both of those teams have a great defence, great mid-court. Sutton Town have the tallest shooter in the league, and that's going to make a big difference, especially in the big games as well. So I'm going to make a prediction.
Oh, this early on. Okay.
I'm making it, and Starz won't be happy with me.
Oh,
But this is what makes the league what it is. I'm going to go for a Turnford League victory this season.
ooh, that's going to put the cat amongst the pigeons.
I'm going for it. I'm predicting it. I'm going to say, I just think Turnford, the way they played, even though Starz played really well, they got a bit between their teeth, Turnford, a little bit. They just look like a wounded animal, and wounded animals are not, you don't want to front up a wounded animal. And I think that's what Turnford are a little bit. So, I'm going to go for a Turnford League victory. Very early doors, I know, but just feel the progress they've made has been amazing. So prove me wrong. It happened a lot. It happened a lot last season, proving me wrong.
There were some good games last season as well, I'll tell you, which was unexpected, but again, added to the enjoyment of the leagues. And I will use that leagues, not just league. There was lots of upsets last year. So
last thing to do, mine.
Go on, mate.
14s this season, this Saturday, under 14 Southern Conference. Let's have a quick look at.
Was it Southern?
Southern,
I thought it was Northern. Under 14 Southern.
Right to the bottom, mate. That's the old one.
Yeah, sorry. When are you going to redo that so it's at the top? Right, under 14 Southern. There we go. Hey, yeah, put it in the comments. Should he rearrange it so it's at the top rather than at the bottom?
Yeah, I think I should do, to be fair.
I keep on scrolling down. I keep on doing that. I keep on going, what have I done wrong? Oh, I've got last year's up. Right, yeah, okay.
Okay, so this is the first week of the ENG under 14s Youth Netball Premier League Southern Conference. And we've got a fair few new teams. So 3 teams come into this league. So new blood, new teams, and should be a good season. And the question is, it's a bit like Kingsway Power in the north at the under 14s level. Who can beat Eagles in this league? They've only won this league once, so that in when they were under 12s, they come third. Last season they won it, and this season they look strong. They've acquired a very good player in Hallie, who left AP Saints to go to Eagles. So
they've got there was an upset there, wasn't there? Yeah.
They've got Hallie, they've got Jasmine, and they've got Freya. Free. All the players in that team are out, and they've got Jolie at the back. Oh my word! It's just packed full of. It's like the Galacticos for Real Madrid, like just packed full of talent. But let's look at the fixtures. So Cross Keys take on AP Saints at 9 o'clock. Now AP Saints they've lost a couple of players, but Alison does not mess around. She does build those teams very quickly. So Cross Keys, regardless of who the personnel is, it's going to be a tough old game against AP Saints. That's a good way to start the day. Then our newcomers, Western Park Blades, they will take on Ryland, which will be a very good competitive game. Then Team Bridge, who ended the season last season very well, they play Cross Keys. So 2 very tricky games there for Cross Keys, who come second last season. And then AP Saints against Ryland. That's like a little Southern Conference rivalry, to be fair. So, yeah, another 2 tough games for Ryland. Then Team Bridge versus Western. But it's just that the morning is just 50-50 games galore there, mate.
I'm going to have to have my Weetabix, ain't I? Because that's, it's...
very, very... do you know what? I didn't even realise how competitive it was until I just looked at it now. So, very interesting morning ahead. Then from 2 o'clock, we have Shan versus CD Phoenix. So these 2 teams play each other in the qualifying game. Shan won it convincingly. So CD Phoenix will be hoping to kind of get their own back a little bit. But this Shan team, a bit like their under 12s, fantastic team. dark horses, Martin. A very good new
I was
team.
impressed with their gameplay under 12. So yeah, it's
Firewalls coming back, mate.
fire. Love it. What was the other quote?
I don't know, like something like
Story time, wasn't it?
or something like, this reminds me of going McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Yeah, that was another good one. Yeah.
So then, but we then got Eagles trying. Don't forget, Eagles are second in the whole entire country. They come second last season. They just lost to Kingsway Power by a point. But Eagles play Turnford. Now, Turnford have got a few new players in that team. They will be better than they did last season. So that'll be an interesting challenge for Turnford, for Eagles, I mean. So any Turnford team's never an easy game. But with new players in that team, be an interesting game. Magic versus CD Phoenix. That's a Sussex rivalry. Bring your helmets. That's the biggest rivalry in Sussex. So that's happening at 4:00. Then Turnford versus Shan, a fantastic game, a really big game in the league. And Magic will end the day playing Eagles. But a great lineup there. This league in particular is probably the most 50-50 type of league you're going to get. A lot of these games are going to be neck and neck. So it should be good from a spectator perspective. And yeah, we've had some really good outcomes with people coming to watch over the last few weeks. So keep it up, everyone. The girls need your support. The league needs your support. And the more you support, the more we give back and make the experience more enjoyable for everyone involved. But come along, make sure you support. If you can't be there, remember the live stream is there for you to support at home. But going to be a good Saturday ahead. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too, as always.
It's been a good start to the leagues, isn't it?
It's been fast. There's been, like you're saying, some of the scores do not even explain how good the games have been, as in how the play has been. And the scores sometimes, make you think, oh, can't have been that much. Actually, no, they played quite well, actually. They put on a bit, lost in the last quarter or whatever. So I'm impressed. Definitely impressed with the gameplay. Hence why I was putting stuff out on Sunday. It was like, obviously with sorting things out, but it was more of a, oh, that was good, that was great. Some of the shots again. On last year, we weren't getting that sort of caliber of shots, or not as consistent as they were. But this year, the first game of the season, they're like boom. Some of the stuff you're just like, man, that was good. That was good play. That was good. How they, like again the spinning Michael Jackson thing and straight in the goal. It's like, that took halfway through the year before we saw that. So, or coming through to the players. So, mate, way looking forward to it.
And what I think, again, it's not because I've introduced it. It's because it's about opportunity. And those teams that come 5th to 8th this season, they have the chance to go to a national tournament to basically showcase their skill and showcase their club. And it's just giving more and more girls the opportunity to play netball at a high level against teams they don't normally play against, which will help them develop as players. And I'm looking forward to the championship finals just as much as I'm looking forward to the grand finals. But all the competitions this season are going to be super exciting, enjoyable, and I just can't wait to get stuck into the next 2, 3, 4 rounds. I can't imagine what will happen when we get to round 5 with these leagues. It's going to be mental. I'm telling you, it's going to be. And do you know what sport does at the moment? There's a lot of doom and gloom with economics and gas prices, and every day you turn on the TV and there's some negative rubbish, and it's just you getting pummeled every single day with negativity. But sport, when you're in that sports hall, you're watching the teams, the parents are actively engaged in the kids' performance, the coaches are screaming. I'm sitting there doing my microphone. You're doing the AP say. You're doing the live stream, but everyone is just stepping out of reality, and they're just enjoying the moment.
They're in the bubble of ENG.
Oh, it's just lovely, because in those moments, you basically forget everything, and you just enjoy.
Do you know what? That's a great statement, I would say, because I see that as they're walking in, just before they even get to the doors where, tickets, please. It's like you can see it, like like with Kingsway Power walking in. It's like, oh, dun dun dun. You just see it all building up, and like you go out there in between games and you see this team over there all huddled talking. And I sometimes listen in. I listen into Sutton Town actually. I walked past them and then I just stood at the end with a couple of the other girls just listening, and the coach looked and was like, and just carried on talking about their tactics. But they are so in the zone, and then only when they're leaving, when they get past, like for instance at Sir Henry, when they're leaving those double, the first double gate sort of thing that takes you into the ENG bubble, you can, like, parents are with them and they're like, oh, you played well, but they're still like, as they slowly come out of the bubble, they're getting back into reality, but they're still talking about it. But I can totally agree with that. There is that, like you're saying, they come into that bubble and that's their zone. I'm the athlete. I'm here.
It's just nice for everyone to just escape negative and just enjoy something that's just 100% positive and focused on celebrating young athletes doing their best.
Another thing, get down, watch a game live. So I got to say, it's for me as a live streamer, literally seeing people opposite, especially with the foghorn. Foghorn woman goes out to you. It was just cool because that's just that next level, isn't it? But you see,
bring your foghorns, bring your horns,
your drums.
Drums, no, go on. Bring your drums to our events. Why are you taking them to England netball events? Bring them to the ENG Youth Netball Premier League national.
Why are you bringing England netball into this? Just leave it, mate. Just leave it. ENG is its own bubble, mate. Come on.
Drums. Bring your drums to our national final.
All right, I want to see somebody bring a sax as well. A sax? I'll give you a tenner.
I was about to say something, but you know what? It's 9:30.
Is it?
It is. Everyone, if you watch the show tonight, thank you very much. And we'll be back next week.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Saturday, Twitter, YouTube, and all the other things. And FBLstreamslive.com if you haven't watched the live stream yet. And also you can watch past games. Boom.
Cool.
Have a good night. Cheerio.